Aliceballet.
Aliceballet friends! Hello, Aliceballet friends! I'll be your ballet instructor for today. Oh! Look, it's the Happy Prince! Happy Prince, let me present you to our Aliceballet friends! Everyone, say hello to Happy Prince! Happy Prince? Hello? Wow, that was very nice of you! You guys are always the best! Hooray! Aliceballet friends, you are the best! Today, after sharing the Happy Prince story with you, our hearts will become warm and we will do some fun Aliceballet together. Hold on! Before you can hear the story, there is one last thing we need to do. That is Aliceballet warm-up exercise. Today's exercise is plie, en avant, arabesque. Aliceballet friends, is everyone ready to exercise with me? Now, everybody stand up, get ready!
Aliceballet.
Plie, en avant, arabesque. Plie, en avant, arabesque. Up, turn around. Up, turn around. Plie, en avant, arabesque. Plie, en avant, arabesque. Up, turn around. Up, turn around. Plie, en avant, arabesque. Plie, en avant, arabesque. Up, turn around. Up, turn around. Whoa! Fantastic work! You guys are indeed the best! Aliceballet friends, you are the best! Are we ready for the story to begin now? Aliceballet friends, let's call the storytelling finger! Aliceballet storytelling finger, voila! Aliceballet tail, presto! Today's story is The Happy Prince. Once upon a time, there was a statue of a prince in a village. It had a sword studded with rubies and eyes made of emeralds, covered in gold leaf. It was the statue of a happy prince. The statue of the Happy Prince was said to bring happiness and love to the people in the village. Oh, my wings need a break. Oh, I should stay by the Happy Prince today. A swallow decided to spend the night resting on the statue of the prince. The next morning, the swallow slept well. The swallow saw a crying prince. Prince, Why are you crying? Said the swallow. The prince spoke as he cried. Swallow, I see a little boy lying sick. But the boy is too poor to buy medicine or get food. Swallow, can you bring this ruby to the boy? The swallow flew to the boy with the ruby, even though she was worn out. She dropped the ruby on the boy's bed. Get well soon. The following day, the prince was sad again and said to the swallow, Swallow, I see a young man crying on a bench. He wants to be a painter, but he cannot afford paints. Can you take one of my emerald eyes and bring it to the young man? The swallow had to fly south, but agreed to bring the prince's emerald eye. The swallow flew with it and placed it next to the young man. Be a great painter. The weather is getting colder and colder. The next morning, with another sad look on his face, the prince told the swallow, I see a little girl selling matches in the street. But she has no warm clothes and no one to take care of her. Can you give her my other eye? The time for the swallow to leave was getting later, but she agreed to bring the prince's other eye. The swallow flew away with the emerald eye and dropped it into the girl's basket. The girl was delighted. The prince now had no eyes. The swallow was very worried about the prince and said, Prince, I cannot leave you alone. I'll stay by your side. From that day on, the swallow became the prince's eyes. Every morning, the swallow would look around the village. And if she saw anyone in need, she would tell the prince. And she would strip bits of gold from the prince's golden robe and give it to someone who needed it. A cold winter arrived, and now the prince had nothing to give to the people. And the swallow died peacefully by the side of the prince. The villagers buried the swallow, tore down the statue, and cast it into the fire. The happy prince disappeared from the village. But the swallow and the prince met in heaven and lived on happily ever after. Aliceballet friends! Did you like the Aliceballet story? What if we try to do ballet the same way the Happy Prince and the Swallow did? Are you all ready to join me, Aliceballet friends? With the help of the Happy Prince, the villagers became happy. The swallow flew all over the village at the request of the Happy Prince. Alice Ballet friends! You didn't find the dance moves we learned today too hard, did you? You did an amazing job today, Alice Ballet friends! I will see you again next time! Bye! Alice Ballet